Field trip day.
Oh, Jonathan, good morning. Morning has broken.
It is Tuesday, April 28th, and we're your consecrated hosts.
We are your consecrated host. I am consecrated by Holy Orders.
I'm consecrated by
Baptism. Very good, very good.
It is episode 28. 28 of these, and
it is
still
episode
watch.
28, and you're still watching.
For some reason.
You are so good. You're looking very casual there,
Well,
Jonathan.
you told me we were doing some kind of a field trip, so I dressed up as a field trip, and then now we're just here. So I just... Yeah.
We are in quarantine. We are locked down. We never leave this room. This is where we are. This is where we have to be.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just need to be a little casual.
We do it, I guess, sometimes. Yes, well, I've rolled up my sleeves and everything. I am so casual. Well, that was nice yesterday, having seminarian Thomas Mattia on with us.
Yeah, it allowed me to get behind the camera, do a little bit of a couple different camera angles.
I know. Did you like all those camera shots? We had several cameras going. It felt like a real studio in here.
We had 3 cameras, so...
It was crazy. But it was nice. It was really good. I think you should be behind the camera more often, Jonathan.
Thanks. But no, it was really great to get to know a little bit more about Thomas and...
for a lot of people who don't know him very well. Yeah, no, that was good. Understand kind of what seminary life is like, because like I said, that is a mystery, I think, to many, as I mentioned yesterday. We did, I guess, have a couple questions that we can address a little bit today. First of all, someone asked we were talking about the difference between religious order and diocesan priesthood. Yep. And diocesan priests, you're married to a territory, as it were. And the question was, can you change dioceses? Can you change territories? You can. However, once you are ordained a priest, you are ordained for a particular diocese. And so you're then committed to that diocese in obedience to the bishop of that diocese.
Got it.
If you desire to move, you need both the permission of the bishop of the diocese to which you are going and the permission of the bishop in the diocese to which you belong.
Got it. So it's like entering the transfer portal in college football.
Exactly. You both have to agree to it, and then usually there's a process, a period of time where there's a temporary okay, we'll do this for a year or for 3 years before it becomes permanent.
And can you, let's say I'm from the Diocese of Galveston, Houston, and I went to college. I didn't go to college in Lincoln, but let's say I did, and I said, I want to be a priest in the Lincoln Diocese. Can I join whichever diocese to the seminary?
So you can. You are not tied to a diocese until you are accepted. Or really, So wherever I find my vocation or wherever I'm living, I might say, okay, I grew up in Kentucky, but I've been living here in Nebraska for a while, and I kind of came to know my vocation here, and so I want to study for the Archdiocese of Omaha, and there's no problem with that.
Got it.
The only problem is if you go inter-church. So if you were baptized a Maronite Catholic, you could not become a Latin, and if this is confusing to you, that's maybe a whole nother issue, the different kinds of Catholics, the Roman Catholics, the Maronite Catholics, the Syro-Malabar Catholics, the Coptic Catholics, etc., etc. There's a lot of Catholics out there, and there's a lot of differences. In the military chaplaincy, it's the same thing, that the military has its own archdiocese, and it has its own bishop. And so those priests who are assigned to the military chaplaincy, as Sandy is asking, they get permission from their bishop to be released to service in the military archdiocese.
And you did that a little bit, right?
I did that when I was in seminary. I was a chaplain. Chaplain candidate in the Air Force. Captain in the Air Force.
Oh my gosh.
You can salute me anytime you want, Jonathan.
Let's say I really like Hawaii, and I'm like, I want to be a priest in the Diocese of Honolulu because that would be really cool. Would I get accepted? Or
depends.
Like if you're just like, oh, I just really want to live
like if
there.
you were a seminarian, and they might want to they might want to know like what's your connection, how every diocese, depending on their needs.
My connection is I want to be near paradise. That probably wouldn't be too good, huh?
And that's still a mission diocese, so you would work your butt off. In the Diocese of Honolulu. Yeah, you would. So, Jonathan?
Yeah.
I'm a little hungry.
You know what?
My stomach is a little rumbly.
That's what I heard. I thought it was Staples, but I think it was your stomach.
No, that's my stomach. I think... Let's go to the rectory.
We want to go to the rectory?
Come on, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Come on. Come on in, Jonathan. All right. Welcome to my kitchen.
All right.
Look at this. I have it all ready for us.
Oh, my
ready
goodness.
to go so that we're set to cook. Couple things. Apron.
Apron?
Apron. We gotta do the work. Would you like an apron?
Sure.
I think this one would be appropriate.
I am wearing black. I mean, it's gonna cover up my beautiful shirt.
It'll cover up your beautiful Mary. But there it is. You got a little Darth Vader action going on.
I'm honored.
All right.
Can you do a bow in the back?
If you've got it long enough, you can. This one is kind of short on me, so I'm doing just what I can.
I've never had an apron before.
And we don't want to get you all dirty. I think absolutely it is so important that when you are cooking, you have a bottle of wine, not necessarily to cook with, but something to help the cooking along. Oh. So Jonathan, I know it's early in the morning, but we are cooking Italian, and I'm sure it is in the evening in Italy right now. So, cheers to you.
Cheers.
Chin chin, as we say in Italy. Nothing like a morning glass of wine.
Delicious.
All right. So, today, what I thought we would do, I'm going to, first of all, get the water boiling on the stove, because we'll want, when we're cooking pasta, you want some nice hot water. So we're going to get some water the water going here. We'll get that going in the kettle there. And the skillet here has got 1/4 cup of olive oil in it. And I want to get that going on medium-high to get that oil sort of hot.
Water's boiling, oil's cooking.
Water's boiling, oil's are going. But what are we making? I wanted to make one of my favorite pastas that's a non-tomato based sauce. So probably one that a whole lot of people aren't very familiar with. And this one is called pasta carbonara.
Oh yeah, it's got the peas and the chicken.
No. If you've ever had carbonara in the restaurant, likely you have not had carbonara. There will be no cream sauce. There will be no peas. There will be no chicken. There will be no ham. There'll be none of that stuff.
You just described carbonara.
That is not carbonara. Carbonara basically is this. It is pancetta, and pancetta is like an Italian ham. Okay. Or an Italian bacon, rather. So what I've done is I have diced up 6 ounces of bacon. So most people will have bacon in their fridges or in their freezers, easily found at the store. You can find pancetta. It's a little pricier or whatnot, so bacon will work just fine. So I'm going to make this today with regular old American bacon. Okay? You'll need a couple of cloves of garlic.
I love garlic.
So we've got a couple cloves in here. I've peeled the paper off of them and just gave them just a gentle crush, not to break them apart, but to open them up a bit. Then you're going to need 4 eggs, freshest as they can be.
Okay.
Fresh eggs. And then we have 2 kinds of cheeses here. Come on in here, Jonathan.
All right.
We've got a Pecorino Romano. And we've got a Parmigiano Reggiano.
So, Parmesan and Romano.
Exactly. Parmesan, Romano. So, take a taste of that Parmesan, and what does that taste like to you?
Cheese. But it's really good.
It's a little creamier. Kind of salty. A little bit not salty. Too much.
I mean, I could eat this all day.
Okay. Try the Pecorino now.
I've never had Pecorino.
Give that one a try. How is that different?
It's intense flavor.
It's got some salt.
It is very salty.
It's a little grainier.
It's crumblier.
It's crumblier and it's saltier. So this is going to form...
I could not eat that all day.
Well, maybe. Maybe not all day.
Not like that Parmesan, because you had a brick and you...
Yes, we grated the Parmesan, so got 2 wedges of Parmigiano and Romano. Third of a cup, third of a cup.
Oh, delicious.
Delicious. We're going to take this this crushed garlic, and I'm going to put it into the oil, and I'm going to turn that down just a bit to medium heat, and give that just a little... What we want to do is we want to bring out the flavor of the garlic. It's kind of sizzling away there.
Oh, yeah.
We want 2 cloves of garlic, but these were small cloves, so I threw a few extra in there.
I like my garlic, so you can put as much as you want.
Then I'm going to take the bacon, or the pancetta, and we're going to dump that in here and render the fat.
People have said EWTN better watch out, but I think the Food Network needs to watch out now.
They better look out. We do it all here at St. Charles on the Morning Has Broken show. Nothing like making lunch for breakfast, but this is kind of a breakfast pasta too. Bacon and eggs.
Yeah, bacon and eggs. It sounds like a good breakfast to me.
Well, garlic, you know. All right. So we're going to let that cook down, and we basically want that to, we want the fat to render off, and we want it to get a little crispy there.
Wonderful.
While that's doing its thing, we want to make the base for our sauce over here. So, little sip of wine. It helps out.
I can drink to that.
Drink to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to crack my eggs. And I just like to use kind of a deep measuring cup here.
Oh, you can hear that bacon sizzling.
You can smell it already, that garlic and that bacon. Delightful. All right, and then I just want to give these a light beat. You don't need to beat the hell out of them. You just need to give them a light, just a nice light beat. And then what you want to do is, I'm just going to go back to the stove here and zhuzh my bacon. And the reason we don't break down the garlic and mince it up and chop it up like you might normally be used to is because we're going to pull the cloves out when we're done. We want a hint of bacon or a garlic flavor in here, but we don't want gobs of garlic. Got that?
No gobs.
No gobs of garlic. I'm going to take my cheeses and I'm going to add them to my egg sauce. So we're going to dump that in there. Throw the extras on the floor for the dog. And just give that a nice stir into there. This is what's going to make the creaminess of the sauce, Jonathan.
Oh.
So there's no cream added. There's no milk. There's no butter. It is just the silkiness of the eggs and the cheese.
So I'm guessing you're not going to add much salt because of the saltiness.
I'm going to add a little salt and a little pepper here. So I got some kosher salt here. And I'm just gonna add a little bit to the thing, and I'm going to give it some generous grinds of pepper.
Do you prefer the fresh cracked variety?
In fact, that is what I am doing. Do not be shy with your pepper, because that is where the name of this dish, this dish gets its name. Carbonara means carboned. So it's named after the miners coming out of the mines, covered in the charcoal, carbon. So it's really to look like charcoal all over your pasta. You like that wine?
It's pretty good.
That's an Italian wine. I figured it went well with that. Okay.
Okay, so you're stirring.
Yeah, we're just rendering out the fat. We're getting our bacon cooked down. I'm going to give that a stir.
Got a nice little close-up of that pan, so it's looking good.
While that is going, I want to get the pasta in the water. Because the pasta, now I'm using linguine. This pasta is traditionally served with spaghetti, sometimes with penne, but I like linguine because it's just a little bitier, toothier than spaghetti.
For those Americans, linguine is linguine.
Yeah, it's not actually, see that last letter is not an I, linguine, it's linguine, linguine.
Linguine.
Esatto. You should cook your pasta in water that tastes like the ocean. So I always have sea salt on hand.
Now, Father Jeff, I'm from Galveston, so what would you say to that?
Maybe you don't want to have it taste like that. That's the goal.
The Mediterranean?
You want this to taste like the Mediterranean. Well, yeah. So I do a nice palmful of salt and throw that into the water.
Right in there.
Wait till your water boils before you put the salt in.
Or else it'll take forever.
If you put the salt in at first, it changes the temperature at which water boils. And then that affects the pasta. Boil your water, salt it, and now we take the pasta and we stick that in there. And again, I'm going to break it up so it doesn't not break it up. And I'm going to give that just, again, a little stir to get it down into that water. And I want to bring that water back to a boil. So I'm going to just cover it for a moment. Now my bacon is browning, starting to brown. I don't want it to burn. So I'm just going to, again, give that a little zhuzh. I'm going to turn down the heat a wee bit. You want the fat mostly cooked out of it so you don't have these chewy bits in your pasta. But that's looking good. The beautiful thing about this pasta is it seems complex when it's all done, but really you can see this is pretty darn simple. You fry bacon, you boil pasta, and you beat together eggs, cheese, salt, and pepper. That's it. You don't have to be a genius or graduate from culinary school to do that. Very simple, very easy so far. The magic is in the last 30 seconds when it all comes together. That is where this pasta either is successful or it dies.
So it all comes down to the end.
It's all down to the end game. I'm going to shut the bacon off because we have, this all looks very well cooked. See, that is cooked bacon. And my pasta water is once again boiling, and we don't want it to boil over, so I'm going to uncover it now and give it a little zhuzh.
Well, I gave him a ride. I took the other camera and started moving it, and then it got loose. And
oh no!
So, but I think we're under control now. They can see you stirring the pasta.
Excellent. I just want to make sure that they're not going to have clumps of pasta and that it's all very loose in there.
Oh yeah, you don't want it to stick together.
So that's a pound of pasta, 6 ounces of bacon, which is approximately 6 slices of bacon. That's what we're looking at here. 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 good-sized garlic cloves crushed, 4 eggs, 1/3 cup of pecorino, 1/3 cup of Parmesan. If you don't have pecorino, do 2/3 cup of Parmesan. It'll be a little bit different. You might have to add a little salt to it. Okay. I am going to sort out, I'm going to pull out the garlic cloves that are in the pasta. Fish those out. And I remember one time when I was cooking this, and I fished out the garlic cloves, and then I pitched them in the trash. And I remember my good friend Bishop Lopes, he looked at me with such horror on his face, like I just threw away a newborn baby. And he says, "What are you doing? That is gold." So don't throw these away. If you have a little crostini, a little toast, crackers, take this, spread it on top of that, and eat it. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just want to eat it now, Jonathan, for breakfast, go right ahead.
I think I'll let it cool down a little bit.
Let it cool, and then I can pull out a cracker and you can have some delightfully fried garlic.
Don't mind if I do.
All right.
See my wife for a while anyways.
So we are good to go here. What we want to do in preparing now the end, whatever bowl you're going to serve or mix in, I like to pop this in the microwave, or if you've got the oven going or whatever, and I'm just going to heat that up so that we have a warm bowl to work with. These are all important things.
I've got you full screen now as you drink your wine.
As I drink my wine.
Is this the best part of cooking?
Delightful. This is the best part of cooking. I just read an article that said making your own food like this, especially when you're on quarantine, this is a great stress reliever and anxiety relieving doodad.
Well, that's probably because the wine.
The wine certainly helps, especially at 10:15, 10:20 in the morning. Whew. All right. That bowl feels warm. I'm going to check my pasta. Everybody has a different method for checking when their pasta's done.
Please tell me you stick it to the wall.
I do not.
Dang it.
Some people like to put a timer on and the package says this is going to be 8 minutes. I like to go by feel. So I'll let it cook for a while, and I'll pull one out and I'll taste it. I just, throw it, I just take a bite out of it. You want it al dente. You do not want nasty, soggy pasta. You don't want it where it's still crunchy. Let me get you a cracker here, Jonathan.
It's a crostini.
A little crostino, and we'll put some of that garlic on there for you. Yum.
Let's make sure it will
have a nice.
Staples is eyeing it.
Yeah, he's always right here. Always right here, ready to find something that falls on the floor.
I'll get in frame.
Yeah, you want to try that. What do you think of that? What do you think of that garlic? That's got some garlic. Bacon flavored garlic.
But it's so good.
Isn't that delightful?
It's gonna bring a tear to my eye.
I'll drink to that. All right.
That is so good.
That is so good. You can't not love that stuff. Italian cooking really is not that difficult. It's about having fresh ingredients and using them in simple ways.
Where did you learn this, Father Jeff?
I was in, I went to seminary in Rome. I lived there 6 years. You get a feel for what the cuisine is supposed to be like. So you get a taste for it, you get a feel for it. And we cooked at the seminary every once in a while. There was a student kitchen that you could sign out, and we would do that once in a while. And then when I came back to the States, I was looking for an Italian cookbook that reminded me of the food that I had in Italy and the pastas that I had. This pasta is not a southern pasta, which is what we're used to in America. We're used to those sweet tomato-based. Not yet. So, believe it or not, the best Italian cookbook that I have found, Reader's Digest. Wow. Shocking. The Encyclopedia of Italian Cooking. You can see that this thing is broken into pretty much. But the pasta section in here, I use all the time. And these pastas are the most authentic pastas that I have found. So if you are looking, you can still buy this cookbook. I'm not trying to hawk it for them. I don't get anything from it. But if you're looking for some authentic, this is my favorite.
All right.
All right, we're about ready. Make sure that bowl is still warm.
And why does the bowl need to be warm?
The reason you want to have fresh eggs for this pasta is because the eggs are not cooked. So the eggs cook over the hot pasta and in the hot grease in a hot bowl. And if you do it right, they don't scramble and you get the creaminess that you need.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to screw it up when I try this later.
Don't you worry, Jonathan. All right, this pasta is getting dangerously close to being done. I'm going to give it another try here.
Where will you be mixing this pasta?
I will take it here to the middle table. So let's move some of these things
I'm going to get that other camera to that middle table so that we get a front row view.
We are almost there. So.
Well, the wine's done, so we got to get this going.
Hot bowl.
Hot bowl.
Warm bowl. Eggs.
Huevos.
Ready to roll.
And queso.
We're going to put that bacon grease hot. We're going to put it on high. I'm going to wait till I start to see the bubbles in that. And then I'm going to take my pasta, drain it in the sink pretty quickly, bring it over here to the table, to the island, and I'm going to begin tossing it with the eggs. So pasta in the sink. It is exceptionally important that you never, ever, ever, ever rinse your pasta. You want the starch on there to hold the sauce. If you rinse the starches off, your sauce will slide off of your pasta, and that is not good.
It seems like it would defeat the whole purpose.
Defeats the whole purpose. Here's the magic moment. Start moving your pasta and pouring your egg mixture in, keeping that pasta moving, slowly pouring the eggs in. Get that, I can smell it already. The cheesiness. Now, the piece de resistance, you bring in the hot oil and bacon, and once again, very slowly, start pouring the oil and your bacon or pancetta into the mixture, keeping it constantly moving because you do not want to scramble. If you see scrambles in there, that is not the way I taught you to make it. And do not, when serving it to your guests, tell, we learned this from Father Jeff. If you have scrambled egg pasta, you may say, we learned this from Jonathan.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Jonathan?
Yes.
Carbonara needs lots of pepper.
More pepper.
And let me grab a serving dish for you.
Staples is ready to pounce. He's breathing heavy just like me.
Oh, he knows this is good stuff. All right. This, I have to say, Jonathan, looks beautiful.
I mean, it smells delicious.
So we want to pull out that pasta, put it in the bowl.
I'm salivating.
I like to cap it with a little fresh pepper. And I grated a little more Parmesan just
Parmigiano
to top it off. Jonathan.
Right. Let me get you right there.
Come. Try this bit of pasta.
Oh my gosh.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. Bless us, the Lord, and for these I guess we are received from my man in Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Oh my gosh.
It's like there's cream in there.
It is like cream.
It is creamy.
Now, why you said no pasta dishes?
Look
no Italian
dishes.
Look
at how creamy that egg sauce is. It is delightful. Delicious, delicious pasta.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. And you say no chicken in pasta.
I have never seen an Italian dish in Italy that has chicken in the pasta. So if you find a chicken pasta on a menu, it's probably not the most authentic thing in the world. The one thing I can say about this dish, as delicious as it is, it doesn't heat up as leftovers well. You want to slowly heat it up, otherwise you're going to get a scrambled egg mix.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, Jonathan, I'd love to have you sit here and finish, but we've got a morning show to finish. So,
all right. Well, I'm gonna take this with me.
Take it with you. You can have it for lunch, and I'll keep mine here because I'll be back for lunch. Let's head back, and we'll see you back in the studio. Ciao, ciao, tutti boy.
Oh my goodness!
Nothing like garlic breath in the morning.
Like I said, I won't be seeing Genevieve for a while, and so that's quite all right because
So what'd you think about that?
Oh my gosh, Father Jeff! It was so simple. I mean, it looked simple, but the whole pouring it in and I'm gonna make scrambled eggs.
It's really the finesse of it. I know we had a couple questions that were going on and we couldn't answer as we're cooking, but a question about the oil.
So good.
Do you pour all of the oil into the hot oil into that pasta at the end? Yes, and so unless you've got really, really fatty bacon. If you have pancetta, it's not going to make that much, it's not going to have
much less fatty.
It's going to be, there'll be less oil. But you do want that. That's what creates part of that sauce as it mingles with those eggs. Yeah, we're probably not talking health food here. But
but it was so good. Oh my gosh.
Cheese, bacon, eggs, oil, delicious.
And you didn't serve all of it, so is there any way I can get some of those extras?
Jonathan, you can have some for lunch today.
Deal.
There. Yeah, it'll keep. Just heat it up, gently and yeah, we'll be good to go.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't even think of anything right now. I'm just so... a little bit of wine, the carbonara.
I know. Yeah, the coffee is only so much... Yeah, well... I guess it is still morning.
It's still pretty early.
Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed that. We just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit and to do something a little differently. So maybe we'll throw another cooking show at you in a while.
I'm down.
Another authentic Italian pasta.
If I get to eat it?
We'll post this up on YouTube.
On YouTube.
It remains on Facebook, doesn't it?
Yep, it should be on Facebook. So if there's any skipping or anything like that, I think we were looking at having a little bit of issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on YouTube, it'll go on. It'll be flawless.
And I suppose I can put the recipe out there.
Or just watch it again and take notes.
Yeah, it's not that hard, really. I told you everything that was
pancetta, linguine. Someone asked what brand of the linguine. That was the only kind that was available.
When you go to the store, the pasta aisle is decimated. So I usually use Barilla, but I think that was
Cavatappa or something like that?
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's in that white package, starts with a C. I've used that before, that's pretty good. Whatever brand you particularly like, that's, I think, okay.
Then you had the fresh Parmesan and fresh Romano.
I did use, I grated that off of the wedge, and you can get those over in the deli section generally.
Then you had the eggs, and that was about it.
And I always get the eggs that are, grown locally. I think they're from Columbus, and so, yeah.
All right.
Ciao. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye, everyone.